Good morning. I think we're live. Are you hearing me, Dr. Dan?
Yeah, hearing you. Good morning, if we're live, thank you. I am trying to find us.
Yeah, we are.
Whoever else is there watching us. You found it?
Yeah, we're up on Jamaicans.com. And let me look on YouTube to see if we're on.
Here. Saying hold it. Let me mute this so that I don't. Yeah. And so we are indeed.
Yeah. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, ladies. Good morning, Vim. So good to see you.
We need to apologize for Tuesday.
Oh, yes.
VM said he was waiting. We weren't on.
Oh my gosh. Apologize there for us. We are so sorry, but I was really a little bit overwhelmed and I was having some challenges and really couldn't make it. I wanted to be able to make it, but God no, I just couldn't make it. I was bummed out. So apologies. We make up for it today, right?
Yeah.
Yes, definitely will. All right. So how was your week other than that, Mish?
Busy.
Yes.
Busy.
Busy translating to dollars and cents.
I wish. It's just that, like when the week just go by so quickly, you're surprised it's like Friday and Saturday. Yes. I don't know when it was Monday. I can't recall what I did any day. It just went by so quickly.
Yeah, one of those weeks. Hush, never mind. Pity you're not in Jamaica because this week coming up, we have a holiday. Wednesday is Ash Wednesday. And it's a public holiday for us in Jamaica. So we look forward to that.
Yeah, I was there a few years ago in my area, Chilani. They usually do something. I'm not sure if you hear about the Hague Agriculture Show.
Oh, yes. Oh, and it's on Ash Wednesday, isn't it?
Yes, they usually have it for, the community, which is usually nice. Children get to go, enjoy the festivities. I'm not sure if they're having it because of COVID, but it was always something to look forward to.
It would be nice to know whether or not it's on this year. It would be a nice get out. Restrictions are being lifted. I don't know about public gathering though. So probably there would be a restriction. They're probably not going to allow it this year. But generally in Jamaica, COVID restrictions, our curfew time is now 11, I think it is, or midnight to 5. So we still have to be home. We can't go out before 5, which is probably good. It keep a lot of people out of trouble and then go to the yard early.
Exactly.
So it's probably not a bad thing to keep that perspective. So VM Hesab says, good morning, ladies. Halcyon GL says, good morning. Good morning. Thanks, guys, for being here. Thanks for joining us. I don't like when the captions are on, so let me try and take it off.
Yeah, I don't see us on YouTube. I'm not sure what's happening, but I'll be checking in ever so often to see if we go up. Remember, everybody, tell your family and friends, to tune in. We're gonna talk about some hot topics today. And we have special guests today. And I did get one of the responses from one of our guests that I'll be reading later on.
Okay, cool. Super cool. So that is good. So let me start with the news, as always. And we're starting in your country, Michelle. President Joe Biden has nominated Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson to the Supreme Court, calling her one of the nation's brightest legal minds. She will be the first Black woman to serve in the court's 233-year history, if confirmed. She would replace liberal Supreme Court Judge Stephen Breyer when he retires at the end of the court's term in June. Ms. Jackson, a federal appeals judge, said on Friday she was humbled by the nomination. Mish, as an attorney, how you feel?
I'm so proud. I'm really proud of her. And she has been, based on all the information, has been a great judge in how she, conduct her court, how she interact with people. And the fact that she started with a humble beginning, like she went through the whole public system and, got ahead. Her mom is a former principal of a school, but she went through it, and her commitment to the community, and it's something for us to look up to. And basically people from all sides of the aisles has talked about her in her capacity and the work that she's been doing and the ruling she's been making. So that's what we want. Somebody that is knowledgeable about the law and can apply the law when necessary, not influenced by any,
Continuing, President Biden described Judge Jackson as an extraordinary candidate with an independent mind, uncompromising integrity, and a strong moral compass. This is really, really saying what you are saying, for certain, supporting Biden on that nomination. And we pray that it will go through without a hiccup. It is wonderful for us as people of color, particularly to see these things happening in our lifetime and be encouraged by it. So I'm really happy with that bit of news.
And I hope she's confirmed and people put aside this whole political thing and look at her credential. Now look at only her color, that she's Black, but also look at the work she's done in the past, her commitment to the law and what she has done. So based on all of that, put aside her color, she's one of the best candidates compared to what we have seen prior that is going forward. So I hope they don't milk it down to, it's because she's Black. No, she does meet the requirement. She has all the necessary credentials for the position, not because she's Black. And it's good she's getting an opportunity, because a lot of us know with the same color could look and say, you know what, we see somebody there. It's not hard for us to get there. If you put in the work from now and lay the groundwork and take the proper steps, we can get there. In our lifetime, we see a Black president. Now we're seeing her going on the highest court of the land, and we can go anywhere. And it doesn't matter our background or the school we attend. We don't have to attend it, from the beginning. Parents are more focused on even on the kindergarten stage to make sure they're in the right school. You could go to any school as long as you apply yourself, put in the work, you could get there.
Really support you on that one, Mish. And if we can probably stay in the matters of law and law related, I'm going to jump back to Jamaica with a little local news where it says,
we have some comments.
Okay. All right, go to that while I try to go back on Facebook.
Okay. Yeah, I am, because YouTube isn't coming up. Michael says, morning, beautiful ladies. Peter Gay said, morning, good morning, everyone. Norma said, love. Donna said, good morning, ladies. Good morning, everyone. Michelle says, good morning, ladies. Chantel said, good morning, ladies. Michael said, just like the vice president, her husband is Caucasian, and that is her choice, Michael. And Michelle said, the judge is well qualified. So true.
She is. Really, really is encouraging. Yes. So if I might pop into Jamaica now, staying on things legal, prison officers and inmates get scholarships. 2 correctional officers, and this is an excerpt from the Jamaica Observer. 2 correctional officers and 4 inmates have been given the opportunity to improve their academic qualifications by pursuing Associate of Science degrees with the award of scholarships to them this week. The scholarships, valued at $300,000 each, are provided through a partnership between the University of the Commonwealth Caribbean, the Ministry of National Security, the Department of Correctional Services, and Stand Up for Jamaica, which is a nonprofit, whose mission includes the provision of education for incarcerated offenders with the goal of enhanced rehabilitation. This is encouraging, Mish, staying in the realm
like it.
of things legal. What again are your thoughts? I mean, commendation to UCC for taking this, for joining this partnership to provide the scholarships. So we're starting off 6 scholarships, two to the correctional officers and 4 for inmates.
Yeah, I like it. I think the inmates, though, should get more scholarship because a lot of them want the opportunity. And a lot of them do turn to crime just because they don't have the opportunity. And this is a perfect opportunity for the government even to toot their horn on if they do go through the program, do go through college. Most times they ace these programs and then they are rehabilitated where they provide, whatever field they're going into. They're adding to the field, they're adding to the economy, and they're no longer committing the crimes that they are. And this could be a testament to all those other inmates that you can take these options and better yourself once you get out of these facilities and be a productive member of society. So that is a great move. They should offer more scholarship. I know they do CXC, but that is good that they're able to do their associate degree.
Maybe. Right, so they're offering them an associate degree, and this is encouraging and certainly something that I perhaps might be forced to look at myself to see how I can support
that would be great.
Those incarcerated as well. And it's something that being Catholic, they've always supported people in state care, but we have to get back to the basics of it. So this is encouraging enough to make me a little bit jealous and push me into action. Sometimes that's what everybody needs, you need a little pivot, a little push.
Yeah, because that's true. Because some people, like some crimes that they're going to jail for, not everybody in there, like hardened criminals. Mm-hmm. And it is good when they have these opportunities. And hopefully they don't use it against them. I give them another option to get jobs once they get out, like not only get the degree, but be able to get jobs in whatever field they want to go to. So that is good. And you should do it. And you should do it. Our colleges should offer it in Jamaica because they have different things. Teach them a trade. I know they offer some trade, but give them other options of a trade. With some more comments, Michelle says, I read that. The judges are qualified. Anne-Marie said, good morning, beautiful ladies. Good morning. Michelle said, that's really nice. Diana said, lady just popping in to say good morning. Away skiing. Have not done so in some time, fall so much, but we'll keep trying. Have a great day. You too.
Michelle, send us a picture, man. Send us a picture.
Send pictures and videos of you falling. Michelle said, it's a start. So hopefully it continues. Teresa said, good morning, ladies. Good morning.
All right. So I think that kind of sums up the Jamaican news. We talk about COVID restrictions. So church, more people can go church, go funeral, up to 100 people to burial. So holy dead yard keeping now. Just keep your social distance. And in terms of church, as many as your building can hold, observing the required distances. So gradually we're seeing an ease. You don't have to get that app now, Mish. You don't have to get that clearance to come into Jamaica. And I think that is really big.
That is good. And I like that. That is major because a lot of people keep forgetting, because every time I go to the airport, people keep forgetting I need help doing it. So, but it was quick. Like recently it's been quick. Like the response has been quick. Like within 5 minutes or so you get a response. So you could do that at the airport. But it's a hassle that is not necessary at this point. And I don't know if anybody else is doing that other than Jamaica, but I don't know. But that is good. And I like how everything is relaxing, but people have to just take personal responsibility over themselves and their family. Because even last night I saw where the CDC stated that they're not like mandatory, like requiring the mask again. So like it's up to, different governments or whatever to decide if they want people to wear the mask. But people have to, but in like certain closed settings, you have to wear your mask. So it's really up to people to do what they want, what's best for them and their family. But I'm glad things are relaxing and going back to normal. Although it's going back to normal and we have a war, it's like it's never ending. But it's good we are getting back to normal.
Yeah, it was always a little bit of a challenge, really, coming into Jamaica, because when you get to that airport in the States or wherever it is, if you're in, where I was coming out of Canada recently, and I forgot to complete the form, and they would not process you until you completed that form, show them that it's completed and all that. So it was a little quite time consuming and unnecessary, I thought. So I'm happy with it. Really, really happy to see it go. There are other places that have a requirement for you to complete a form as well. I think more often than not, the airlines probably complete it and just make you sign it. But
yeah,
I was happy.
Well, that's
happy
good.
to see
That
the
was
back of
honest.
that.
Yeah. The only thing I'm glad they still require is a testing, which more than likely in a few months they'll do away with it. But I'm glad they have it in place right now. Because you never know. Chantel says, Teresa said, good morning, ladies. Chantel said, I like it. Inmates also need support to better themselves in life and help them to be more productive members in society when they leave the prison. Chantel also said, oh, we can travel now. Yay. Can't wait to visit my homeland.
Yay. Can't wait to have you do that. My Sunday?
No, Chantel.
Okay. All right. Come, Chantel.
Michelle says individual responsibilities and precautions still. Yeah, that is true. That is very paramount and important. And Marie said, I will still wear a mask. Yeah, I wear my mask. I realized wearing the mask really helped me especially during the allergy season. It has helped me. So I will be wearing my mask.
I definitely wearing mine. Definitely wearing mine to my there, not putting it down one bit. It won't be standard, especially when I'm out in public with more people. Definitely, if I'm at home or in a private setting, with people like, them people, okay, fine, seemingly, then yes, but definitely wearing the mask.
Yeah, and up to people to wear it. I'd recommend wearing, but it's up to you. You have the freedom, just like how you have the freedom to get the vaccine. It's up to you.
All right, back into some more news. Let us continue on the matter of Jamaica. Did everybody see that symbol, which is the jam decks, no cash, no problem business? There's quite a little hullabaloo about it because some people didn't like it. The Aki looking thing. So the central bank digital currency, it's called CBDC, central bank digital currency. But Uganda is here, they say, taking lessons from Jamaica on the implementation of a central bank digital currency. I haven't seen any place that accepts it. I don't have any. I don't know how to get it. So I'm going to try and get somebody from the Bank of Jamaica to come and talk to us about it, because it's like it's swirling in all the other spaces around me. And I'm sure with you guys in the diaspora, Mish, have you seen or do you have any?
No, I don't. I just see the Aki thing and people complain about the Aki. I don't even know what it was or is. I haven't looked into it. But as you said, it would be great to have somebody come on to like brief us on it and what it does and how to get involved if we do want to get involved, because I really don't know. So much is happening. I really don't know.
Well, people elsewhere, the Bank of Uganda explained that they're studying the idea of a central bank digital currency with the aid of case studies developed by peer central banks such as Jamaica, Nigeria, and the other. The laws does not accommodate digital currency in Uganda, but they're exploring it. The truth is, I don't know. I hear that we have it and we're seemingly trying it out, but it really, there's so much that is unclear to me. I don't know where it takes it and how I get it and how not to get it.
So they're in Jamaica, studying Jamaica.
Yes, Uganda here studying Jamaica. When we in Jamaica don't even know what o'clock a strike with it.
Oh, that is good. That is major. We're ahead. So we need to get the people ahead so they could get involved in it. Anne-Marie said, I work with the public. Peter said, Dr. Diana, how is your family friend in Ukraine doing?
Okay. She is doing well. She is still in Ukraine, but she's okay. And I'm just popping down here to try and find the last update. They are just asking for prayers, saying that she commits to sharing with us at an early at her convenience. As soon as she can, she will share with us. They're staying focused on what they need to stay focused on. They're just asking for prayer. So we probably could pause and just offer prayer, or just ask you each to offer prayers for all of those, including Brianna, who is down in Ukraine for studies. But they're doing well.
They're doing well. That's good. That's good. So she, I guess, outside of the city then. So yeah, prayers up for Brianna. That's her name.
Yes, Rihanna.
Mm-hmm. May she have, yes. I guess,
and all her other friends and colleagues who are down there, because Rihanna is a kind of leader person, so I know that she's down there rounding up the troops and keeping everybody really very focused. And if she says, "Don't worry, we're fine," just prayers. We just need prayers.
Yeah.
There's some concerns, and continuing on that too, I see where the leader of the opposition had put some funds out to support their getting back to Jamaica, in response, I think, Michelle, because the government of Jamaica had indicated that they would give loans of £500 or 500 euros, but to loan, these people are already down there because it's hard on their budget, which is why they're there. It's much easier. So a loan is really not something to help them. So I was kind of happy to see that there was an award or an effort made to provide some funding to help them.
And also the government did come around too. Like at the beginning, they did offer a loan, but they did come around realizing the loan wasn't, good idea, which is good. And they did themselves offer $11,500 to these students. So
they had to top it
together. Yeah, if we add it both together, it is 21,500. So that is good for the children or those in Ukraine who need the support and assistance. So I just say take it, and I guess it's gotten to the students. There is no attachment. I don't know about with the government, but I know with the opposition, they stated that there is no attachment. It's just, we're giving you assistance. And so it's good that they came around. The government came around. Like in wartime, with things happening immediately, people don't know how to react. Because sometimes you have to be really level-minded to know what to focus on. And it's good that now they are focused on the main focus is to get them home safely or to a safe zone, because they said most of them are going to Poland.
Yeah, a number of them are going to Poland, and there are others who don't want to go to Poland because of there's some other reasons why they really don't want to. But we have to understand that it's not easy for them to just pack up and drop and go. They have to be concerned about their permits and how they get back into continuous school and all of those things. So they have to balance a number of issues, unless their government is going to balance that for them.
It's a lot to it, because the more you look into it, there's more. Because even there was this girl that kind of asked about her cat, but they made it look like she was more concerned about the cat when it was really her support system, and she wanted to know if she was able to travel, because I guess Ukraine has some strict laws in regards to animals, and everybody had their pets. So this is why they I think Poland opened up their borders and said, no, it's okay, come in, bring your pets, even if you don't have documentation, it's fine, bring your pets. Everybody's following this cat because the cat became famous. So everybody's following the cat, and the cat's journey to see where the cat will go. But it is more even with the schools and how they highlighted that they wanted clarity with the school. So I guess it's a lot of miscommunication between the government and the students, which happens. But no, I love the fact that no, they're at the point. Like I'm a person, I believe you act now and focus on the other things later. So like I like how they're focused now on getting them to safety, are keeping, and they said they don't know where a few of them are located, which I would think the government, like people traveling, would be registered with the government, like they keep abreast of their citizens. But they're trying to get in contact with those students. So I like where they're at now, helping them know to get out and leave the little rare garbage till later.
Yeah, and I think that we have to be careful how we sift through what is in the media, especially our local space here, where it's almost wanting to make it into a little political ploy. But let us not lose focus on the children. These are our leaders who will come back here to contribute to the country, and they just want our support. Support them how we can. Pray for them. They're just saying, just offer us prayers where we can manage this, we can take care of ourselves, and we are doing just that without all the speculations one way or the other.
Yeah.
Just support them. And she, we just thank those in the chat who's saying prayers going up, and she's a strong, brave girl, and she's saying, Auntie Diana, we're good.
Yeah, we're good. And we just need to pray. And that's my thing. When people ask for help, like sometimes I don't really need to know the real gist of it. As long as they ask for help, just help. If they say they need prayer, just pray. And then they'll tell you later, like, if they want,
Right.
So we just need to.
Yes, at some point they will need some financial support and all of that. But we just line it up and sit down and wait. And when they say, okay, good, we need X, Y, Z, then we all can just throw our resources together. Who knows somebody over in that place, send something.
That area.
No, so we just support them that way. But right now they're just saying, Auntie Dana, we're good. Just pray.
Okay.
Prayers.
Jesse said, good morning, ladies. Yes, I've been praying for people in Ukraine. Michelle said, I'm sure family members who can help will do their best to help. They will. And to Diana, I was thinking the same thing. And one thing with Jamaicans, no matter where they are, once they know you're Jamaican and in distress, they will come to assist you.
All right. And I don't want anybody to say that you skip over anybody, Michelle. So Michelle Carson, individual responsibilities and precautions still.
I did. I read.
Okay, you did? Okay. All right.
Yeah, they will help. Jamaicans will jump in if they're in, and they're all over the world. Like they're in every country. So they'll help. They'll help.
So that is good. So let us jump back into the other, extend that same Ukraine story into this war that is going on. Ukraine says soldiers killed after refusing to surrender. Ukraine has honored 13 soldiers who were killed defending a tiny island after reportedly swearing at a Russian ship that ordered them to surrender. In unverified audio clips, the borders guards defending Zimini Island in the Black Sea are told to lay down your weapons or be bombed. Russian warships go to hell, they responded. Ukraine says they were then killed by air and sea strikes. Russia denies any such account and say they all surrendered. We need to pray for the soldiers in the Ukraine. We need to pray for the people of the Ukraine, and we have to pray for the Russians too. This war.
This war is not what they want. Yeah, the war is not what they want, because you see like a lot of protests going on around Russia. So majority of Russians don't agree with this war. So we really don't know what's behind it. I guess Putin will tell us one day. But I like the fact that these people are being brave, because when I heard about the soldiers, giving their life up for their country, for what they believe in, I haven't seen that in my lifetime where anybody laying down, their life for their country. I've heard about it in the past, in history, but to see it live in history. And there was this other soldier who actually blew himself up to prevent Russia from advancing over a bridge. And then you had this other millionaire who went back to Ukraine, although he's got his family out, to go fight to defend his country and what he believed in. And then you see where the president of Ukraine, he could have left. The US gave him an option to leave. And he said he would fight with his people. And he said, like in history, recent times, we have seen these leaders pack up and leave, or we see them hiding in a tunnel or something. He's on the battlefield fighting for what they believe in, fighting for their country. I haven't seen this, and that's a great leader to me, who not only talks, but he's actually doing it. He's not sending his troop there to fight. He's leading his troop into battle. You know, and a lot, I see older people like going, saying they're willing to fight. Who is this?
Hi, good morning. My name is Emil.
Okay, who are you?
Hi, Emil. Would you join us at 11?
Okay, we'll do.
I put on some clothes, Emil. Yeah, but I like that. Emil and I'm in bed. Yes, I like that. It's showing us like what we are looking for in leaders to lead. We're looking at people who are dedicated to their country, to securing their country. I don't know if Jamaica would do it because there's a lot of jokes going on with what's happening, but it is good to see, you know, commitment. I remember growing up, you know, like when we had that song in Jamaica, not the Jamaica Land of Beauty. What's the pledge? I pledge, you know, like, what's the pledge?
To be my country. Yes, or we can look it up. I don't escape it.
But we had so much pride growing up, and we wanted to do everything for our country. Each time I hear it, I pause. And then now to see these people in another country actually living to those pledges that they made to their country. And if Jamaica could do, residents could do half of that commitment, Jamaica would be far ahead. If we put Jamaica forward and look out for each other, and we will get ahead.
The Jamaica National Pledge: before God and all mankind, I pledge the love and loyalty of my heart, the wisdom and courage of my mind, the strength and vigor of my body in the service of my fellow citizens. I promise to stand up for justice, brotherhood, and peace, to work diligently and creatively, to think generously and honestly, so that Jamaica may, under God. Yes, I remember.
Yeah, you know, like it's like these people are doing it.
And prosperity, yes.
It's like these people in our country doing it. So we want, you know, like if Jamaica could do it, like these pledges that we used to say in school every morning, to get us back to that frame of mind where we put Jamaica first, then I know Jamaica will be ahead. All this crime and all these things, you know, will subside and we'll get ahead. But it's good to see, and the world, you know, is watching.
Yeah, that's super good. And Michelle, what you're really talking about is the resistance. The resistance has begun in the Ukraine, and it is being led from the front. There's a nationwide call for men to fight, you know, fighting age, and them handing out weapons and stuff, and they're putting up a resistance. As much as they're outnumbered on paper, they're still putting up a resistance.
They are outnumbered, because even I look at the ships that they have, it is like not even 0.1% of the ship that Russia has, but they are fighting. They know why they're fighting, and they're fighting. More than likely, they know they might not win. They might not come out on the winning end, but at least they're fighting. You know, like if we want to take back our community, we know sometimes, but we fight. And that is a fighting spirit that we need back in Jamaica. I'm just saying, comparing countries, you know, like people, but we'll get there. I'm going to read some comments because they're coming in.
Okay.
Michelle said, no, I read Michelle. True, Diane, I was thinking the same thing. VM said, have been praying. Paula said, good morning, ladies. Prayers for the people in Ukraine. Alicia said, what's behind it is power. Patricia said, good morning, everyone. Happy Sabbath. Praying for Ukraine and for your family too, Diana. I hope they're doing well. Michelle said, they are questioning Putin's mental status because it's a madman that. He's not, Peter Gay said, he's not mental or mad. He is how superpower status is obtained, and that's his objective. Michelle says, I pledge the love and loyalty of my country. Coach said, Purse goes out. War is not the answer. Peace and love is the answer. That's true. Sandra said, good morning, gorgeous panelists and beautiful people. I am here. Well, it's good you're here now, Sandra. VM said, would it be a good thing to start school with that pledge? Yes, they used to start it when we were in school. Yes. And we were proud.
And in fact, it says too that we're somewhat mandated at the start of the term and at the end of the term to say that pledge. But I don't know that they even know the pledge. So it's probably an opportunity for us to print the pledge and hand it out now to more schools and remind them of the commitment to say this pledge at the start of the term, beginning and the end of term and on special occasions. But it needs to become the norm.
Yeah, I need to go back to the norm where we had to do it. We had to say it. And then I see they even had Jamaica Day. And it's like people were asking, what is Jamaica Day? Really, it like watered down. Like Jamaica Day would be the perfect time to bring us back through history and all these things of a proud nation to be celebrated. And it's just a day to dress up with the Jamaica colors. That's it. You know what I mean? But yeah, we need to get back.
You know, Michelle, it's interesting that you said that because yesterday I was out and about and I saw everybody dressed up in the Jamaican shirt. And I'm saying, what is the ethos? What is it that we're celebrating? What are we uplifting? Are we celebrating family, education? What is the focus of this Jamaica Day? It's just an opportunity to buy another Jamaican t-shirt and wear it again and dress up, pin them in all this Jamaican shirt and go and eat greater cake and drops. What is it? What is the ethos? What is the underpinning tenet that we want to infuse? And you're right. This is the opportunity where we pledge and talk about the pledge and the anthem and what it means. Boy.
Yeah, I give back the children a sense of Jamaica because, to be honest, we're really Americanized. Like we're more focused on America. But to give the children a sense of Jamaica, their history, where they're coming from, and so they can be committed again to Jamaica because everybody is looking to leave Jamaica. You know, like let people fall back in love with Jamaica and what Jamaica has to offer. And that's what should be a priority because seeing Ukraine is like, come on now. All these people sacrificing, just regular people. It's not like they were trained in the military or anything, just regular citizen sacrificing for their country.
True.
Yeah, some more comments.
Alan Carr says she wanted to know, ladies, do you know how we can start a scholarship program in Jamaica? Yes, we can discuss that. There are ways, just what is the focus and who you want to implement it, where do you want it implemented? There are some of the questions that we need to ask. Paulette, yes. Mish, I don't want you to get into Paulette Chamber says, good morning, ladies. Prayers for the people in Ukraine. Alicia Smith was behind Power. Yes, I think that was the only one you might have missed. Go ahead.
And Michelle said, yes, I guess in a response to the pledge, yes, it used to be the norm. Chantel said, this is crazy and my heart bleed for Ukraine. My son is a pilot in the U.S. Air Force Reserve and they may expect him to go at some point in time and that worries me. Me too. A lot of my friends joined the military. We thought peace was here. Sandra said, prayers for God to change the hearts of men who are causing tyranny on his land, this land. Prayers and strength for the people and their family. Strength is in the heart and numbers. Love is the answer, not war. And I guess they responded to the lady about this scholarship option, which you could go to Dr. Diana's school.
Yeah, now she could just indicate which is her school that she went to and she wants to support, and I can join with her in whatever. I'd probably give a scholarship from my school to somebody from her school. But whatever it is that you want to talk about is good. Where do you want to start? We can discuss that. But wow, quite a mouthful on that Russian thing. But the resilience and the commitment is really encouraging and encouraged by us. Getting back to the pledge, I'm happy that you mentioned the pledge. We really need to sit and focus on it a little bit, and we need to recite it at every opportunity and make it become ingrained within the culture of Jamaica. No, I don't know what is ingrained in our culture.
Why appear Willy bunks are did the bunks? That's like I say.
Oh gosh. Germany
I
and
understand the bouncing all over the island. A lot more comments coming in. Sandra said, "What is going on with my bestie?" Patricia said, "President, I'm praying for you, bestie. Lots of prayer." No, it's for their niece in Ukraine. She needs prayers, so she's okay. Michael said, "Make us realize how fortunate Jamaica is, surrounded by no enemies, just a beautiful Caribbean Sea." You never know. Somebody might say they want Jamaica. You don't know. Kojo said, "Mankind must remember the world was created by God, not mankind. We don't have any ownership of this world because we are all going to die and leave this world. We must enjoy the earth until such time. Love each other." And this is thank you, Michelle. That is true. Love. Why we need to go in our country? Leave them, let them be. But at the impact that's coming that I'm looking for, that I'm not looking towards what's coming. Like I don't know what's coming, and that's the part I'm like a little worried about. If for instance NATO, US going to Russia to defend Ukraine, I'm worried what like Putin is really confident that he's going to do something, and I don't think I want to figure out what he's going to do. Because I know that they're doing all these sanctions, and I keep saying, well, the sanctions can only do so much, because Russia was already prepared for the sanctions because they had a lot of money saved up. Like they were really preparing for this, this action. So now I'm like, what is he going to do? Is he going to attack us with some chemical? Because, he took over that plant. So I don't want to know. And I'm in the US. So I'm like, I really don't know want to find out what he's going to do, but we need this to end against Ukraine. So I'm not sure how long other countries will sit back the more he advances, but I'm a little worried. Are you worried? No? Oh, they're not Jamaica, so you're all right. You the biggest target.
I'm not worried yet. Oh gosh.
That's funny.
And the weather is quite cold too, so we have a factor that's all in for them as well, that it is quite cold, and some people are tired and some people just a little bit thrown by what is happening in Ukraine.
Yeah, and the most heartbreaking one is when the NICU, the children that were in the NICU, neonatal intensive care, like they had to move them to the bottom bunker, and you see they had to take the little children, and you just like your heart just sink for all those little children, like they're in the city, and you're praying for them too, and all these children you see crying because they don't know what's going on, and always the children you're worried about, especially during these war times. And I do pray that we don't see any more deaths that they come to. Guess who asked them to work it out? Of all the people, guess who asked them to work it out? The Taliban. The
Taliban asking them to work it out.
The Taliban. So you know that, like they should try.
They really should work it out. But Michi, you're quite right. The lasting impact on the children is unforgivable. They're the least able to fathom this insanity that they're seeing around them. That is not the normal. And on the backs of a pandemic, because they've had to adjust to all these issues of the pandemic. It impacted their regular work, school days, and their interaction with family and their interaction with friends. And they've probably seen family members die. They've heard of it. They haven't been able to celebrate the passing of family members. And on top of this now, when they seem that this have eased up, is another mental strain on them. War.
Horrible.
That
is sad, man. Michelle said, as we should be, it will affect others too with resources. That is true, about being concerned. Peter said he's going to take Ukraine on a pause. Biden said the US will not go into combat. I think it's over. Well, we don't know. I think he sent some troops, but not as much. I think he sent about 6,000.
But we have to be careful because
Has to be.
Ukraine doesn't belong to NATO. So NATO companies can't just, NATO countries can't just step in with all their authority, because it would be an imposition now for the US to just jump into Ukraine. So they have to fight or support from the outside, as to all the other NATO countries, excepting Europeans. Now, when Europe sees it as a real threat and decide, okay, NATO, you support us in the intelligence and the other resources, and you stay. So NATO, US troops can stay outside of Ukraine in other territories, but they can't go into it, because then now Putin would have real sound reason to say he's defending Ukraine.
And VM said I think China also did. Yeah, China did backtrack a little because they were first kind of support, but no, they're backtracked and said Putin need to work it out. And Michelle said, yes, I've been praying so hard for the little ones. Alicia said, it is too late now to work it out. Putin is winning and he will go all the way. The West sit here and is allowing it. Not really allowing it, because when the West, what you know, so they had a vote at the UN. They had a vote at the UN, and Russia is on the council, and they voted no against. Did you hear about it?
No.
Yeah, Russia stung, and the same council they put a vote and they said no. So then it failed. So they're like, they shall kick them off of everything, but they didn't. Most said, I don't get how other European countries won't go in. Not their NATO forces, but their national forces.
Well, that's it.
Yeah, Alisa said America is superpower. They have the right to intervene. Yeah,
That's
US
it.
can intervene, but I think they're being cautious because I don't know. I'm not a war, strategist or whatever. But I don't think they really know what he has, and I don't think they want to jeopardize everybody. So I think they're being cautious. They're trying everything else, the sanctions, which I don't think
they have to be diplomatic about it. They have to follow the lead of the Europeans. They can't go in there and start a war. Everybody would say they're starting a war because they're not observing all the protocols that ought to exist. So
yeah, and
they can't take that on. They have to be
careful. Putin just know how to play the game.
Yes, and he's stretching them and stretching them to kind of draw them tongue.
Yeah.
Trying to draw them tongue. It's a whole heap of issues: economic fallout, social fallout, political fallout. But Mish, one of the social issues is a resulting rise in fuel and gas prices. That is going to go full-fledged out. How much for gas in your neck of the woods?
When I went earlier before the war started. It was what, $2 something. So I have to go today. So I know it's gonna be higher. I should have filled my tank. Yeah. But I think I'm going to fill it and then fill a little bit of containers. But I think the US can manage. The US shouldn't be, because we have reserves. The US, so we shouldn't feel the brunt of it as yet. But some areas gonna try to increase price, but we shouldn't feel the brunt of it yet.
But I think eventually you're going to see a significant increase in oil prices. Oil traded much higher over the past 3-4 days than it had in the past. And for us in Jamaica, it is just going to get ridiculous, because already we're paying up to $220 per liter for gas. So travel, it is, I don't know how we're going to manage, because when gas price and fuel price go up, electricity go up in Jamaica, water rate go up, food go up, cost of transportation, everything goes a whack.
Yeah, people, so prepare yourselves, people. So I'm going to say, get your gasoline. Well, the all-time lamp, get a lamp, gonna start planting
Get solar.
And plant up on the ground. Start planting no yam, no banana, no cocoa, everything. Start grow some fall, raise some fall. Because it's gonna be a hard hit,
It is.
And the government can only do so much. They go cost them, but they can only do so much. So they're gonna have to figure out ways how to deal with the brunt of the hit, like work around it. No matter if you park up in the car again and start walk, exercise to location.
Carpooling is what we used to call it.
Yes, so work on it. Alicia said, hold on before we go. Chantel says, if US go full force, Russia will use that to do more damage. That is true. Peter said, they know he has more nuclear warheads than they, thus caution. Yeah, I think he's gonna do some of those warfares. World War III is here. China is going after Taiwan soon. Yeah, they said something in the midst of it about Taiwan being theirs. Michelle said, Putin is like a jealous ex who don't want to see you prosper. Her gas is close to $4. Where are you, Michelle? Because just say we have
Michelle,
to think
Michelle about a fly man, she not drive.
Because just say we have to think about nuclear weapon. Everyone have to be careful, and that will be a bigger disaster for humanity. That is true. Dee said you will see it gradually. It has started in here in Canada. Oh, Alicia said New York gas is $4 plus. Wow. Micah said the US the provocateur, just like the West with the Cuban Missile Crisis. Me know all Michael thinking, I could have known that was going to be your response, Michael. Peter said, I work from home. My car will stay parked. Alicia said, grow your own food. Word to the wise. That is true. Michelle, New York point, exactly. Oh, my point, exactly, Michelle. Money transfer will get a hit too. That is true. It go rough, man. It go rough. So start preparing yourself. Even if you not hit, at least prepare yourself to brace for it. Because Jamaica is a small island and they
banana shooting.
Yeah, they rely a lot on other means to provide support to Jamaica. So do no part, people. Kojo said the Bible speaks of these prophecy. It did talk about war and all these things. That is true. Also time to refocus our energy. Okay, it was a great discussion, everyone. Sandra said Putin is modern day Hitler. Men are not invincible.
True.
They are not. It's sad to see in my life.
It's sad, but we have to prepare ourselves because, like Kojo says, the Bible speaks of these things in prophecy, but the Bible speaks to a lot of things and we don't usually act on them until it's right up in our faces. We're almost like doubtful Thomas. But yes, people need to manage their resources. We need to get productive. Michelle said, raise 2 chickens. And the truth is that I am going to figure out how to raise 2 chickens. So if you might have to come bail me out when them throw me out of the community so we can raise chicken.
Just have 2 coop, not do too much. I make sure you can wash out his smell.
I will buy 12 chicken and I will build a little coop. I want layers though. I want chicken layers.
Have layer, maybe have 2 wale egg. Can't just say household, right? And maybe a friend.
Yes.
So get like
right. So 6 layers and 6 layers and 6 regular chicken.
Yeah.
All right, fine. All right.
And they have yard, have like fancy yard, but they can run around. Free range chickens. So they could run around.
I don't know about the free range chicken. Suppose they're gone now and we can't find them.
Oh, that's
and when they lay the egg, then we're going to find the egg.
Actually, it have to be careful. Maybe fence it in, like do a little bigger fencing cage.
Okay. All right. I can cage them up further around the back where them can free range out there, but it's only right there. So okay.
Yeah. I run from one end.
Yeah, come bail me out when they say against the bylaws of the strata.
Tell them say time hard at war time now, people have to survive. VM says stop buying KFC.
VM stop bad mouth KFC.
Alicia said Jamaica is so lucky. Plant something in the ground, it will grow. Pray for us here in New York. Everything we use come from China.
Oh, Shalisa. Never mind. Oh my gosh. Mish, you want to talk about our first guest, a doctor coming in to talk about how we transition. We've spoken about the parameters, the restrictions being lifted as it relates to COVID. We've seen a decline in the number of cases being reported Probably just a decline in the number of cases being tested. But how do we prepare for this transition now from a medical perspective is important. Or saying, yes, we're going to wear a mask, but what else do we need to do? You want to talk a little bit about our guest, where she's from, what she's done?
Okay. Yeah, so while we wait on her 2 minutes, I'm not sure if 2 minutes will, get, it's a lot to talk about in 2 minutes, but we'll talk about it. So Dr. Sabrina Spencer, the reason why I reached out to her, I know she was assisting with the whole vaccination campaign. So she's
in Jamaica.
In Jamaica. She's in Jamaica, rural Jamaica. So she's been assisting. So she would more know what's happening, what's going on in regards to, the whole process with the COVID and steps that are being taken. Well, she's 25 years old. Despite being a young 25 years old individual, she has a lot of knowledge. I say this to say, I know people always say, well, the older ones are better to, guide us, but it's always good to have people within a certain age group to appeal to the younger. The ones that are going out partying more are really the younger ones who are not really abiding by the rules. But she has information for everyone. But it's always good to give younger people an opportunity with knowledge. So she's from Wakefield in Trelawney.
Where is Wakefield?
in Trelawney. And she went to Wakefield Primary School in Trelawney.
Yes.
And she also went to Westwood High School in Trelawney. And she attended the University of West Indies. So she is a doctor trained, went to school in Jamaica and was trained in Jamaica. And now she's practicing as a medical doctor at the Trelawney Health Department. So that's why I'm familiar with her. And, she works with the residents. She goes into the community and help residents. And she's also the owner of Doctors on Wheels. Doctors on Wheels means that she goes to you. Like a lot of people are not able to get to the healthcare center or the hospital, she goes to you to provide care or, checkups, which is good. Because, the waits are long at the hospital, the government facilities. And when she's not doing medicine, she spends her time with her family, and she loves to write and cook. And her mantra is do small things in great love. So what do you think? Let me call her.
Really, really thanks for giving us that little overview of her. And it is encouraging to see the young people stepping up to the plate in such a significant and meaningful way. As Alicia says, yes, love the young people point of view. And Paulette says we can learn from the young and the old as well. But more importantly, Philip didn't miss Philip. Trelawney is represented in a big way. Trelawney is representing. I'm happy to see that she's launched into a mobile medical operation. The first such instances of it in Jamaica was a US-based organization that came here and was doing that years ago. So I'm happy to hear that she's doing that. A lot of the older people now are far more reluctant to go into the public space for their medical treatment. And the truth is that when COVID started, a lot of the instruction was for people to stay home. So when you were saying to people to stay home, a lot of people weren't going for their blood pressure checkup. They weren't going for their diabetic checkup or their prescription. So unless they had people to do these things for them, it was a challenge. And I think that we probably lost some people because of that, because they weren't doing their medical checkup or going to their doctors as often as they should have. So I'm happy. I want to talk to her about her mobile medical operation. So that is our guest. And then also, whilst we wait for her, we will also be speaking with the community relations officer from the Jamaican embassy in the US. And we're going to speak on the matter of a petition that is being made to the US government, and it relates to our first national hero, Marcus Mosiah Garvey. And I think it is really a fitting set way for us to kind of wrap up Black History Month, talking about our first national hero. But more importantly, we're talking about this petition for the Right Excellency Marcus Garvey to be granted pardon. So I want to talk to Emile. His name is Emile. He has a double barrel name, so I always have to say Mr. So we're going to talk to Emile Wallace Waddell about this petition that the Embassy of Jamaica is making to the US government as it relates to getting a pardon for Marcus Mosiah Garvey. And it is called Justice for Garvey. Emile.
Okay, I'm waiting on the doctor to come.
Good morning.
And if everybody's wondering, I'm waiting on her. She's at work. So when she comes on, okay, everyone. Okay, good morning, Emily.
Emile.
Emile. Sorry, Emile.
Uh-huh.
Emile, thanks for coming on, and we really seem to have double booked, and our medical practitioner is running a little bit late, but understandably so. She's working.
Okay, no problem.
So Emile, usually we start. Thanks so much for taking the time and for coming. Tell us a little bit about yourself, where you grew up, where you come from, which school you go to, so we can beat you up.
All right, so my name is Emile Wallace Waddell. I was born in Germany, but I grew up in Jamaica. I went to Wolmer's High, then I went to UTech, then I got a scholarship. I went to Russia to study, then came back to Jamaica. I was at the Ministry of Finance. I volunteered at Mona High. I was teaching mathematics. And then I transitioned to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. I was there for about 3 years. And now I'm at the embassy in Washington, D.C. as the community relations officer.
Oh, wow.
So, Emile, two things. You have a name that we would probably call you Emile, and suggest a girl name. Growing up in Jamaica with that kind of a name and a double barrel surname to boot. What was it like?
All right, so people usually would get the Emile right. And then, with the double barrel, sometimes people would assume it's a woman that's married. So a lot of times, especially through emails, I'd have to verify. But, I start putting in my signature block, Mr., so people can see it if they scroll that far. But it wasn't so bad. But yeah, I get Emily a lot. So it wasn't too bad, but a lot of questions about the double barrels. So I had to give a background on that a lot of times. But for the most part, it wasn't too much for me.
Okay. Okay, why did you start this Marcus Garvey? I don't know the background of it, so you'll have to tell me. Not to jump right into it, but...
So the Marcus Garvey exoneration / pardon campaign, it was started by this group called CPAC in DC, and then kind of other people latched onto it. So you had the TJ Patterson Center also promoting it. You had Prime Minister Gonzalez promoting it. So CPAC came to the embassy and was asking us to get behind
it. What's CPAC? Sorry.
CPAC, give me 1 second. Let me just get the exact definition.
And where they're from, while checking that, tell us what is CPAC, and really, is this a Jamaican group or is a regional grouping?
No, it's a grouping from the diaspora.
Yes.
So, right. So CPAC is the...
And tell us how many signatures you need, or is not a signature thing?
So it is a signature thing. All right, hold on. It's all right. So it's the Caribbean American Political Action Committee, that's CPAC. So they kind of were the ones who started this whole posthumous pardon petition. We need 100,000 signatures by the 2nd of March. The platform to submit your signature opened on the 1st of February and will run until the 2nd of March. And basically, it's a global campaign. We're trying to get as much support as we can because this year, as you know, it's Jamaica's 60th year of independence. It's also the 60th anniversary of diplomatic relations with the United States of America. And it's also the 100th year since these charges were laid against Marcus Garvey. It has been an ongoing effort. So there have been instances in the past where they've been trying to get Marcus Garvey a pardon. What they really want is an exoneration, but with all the legal stuff and what the White House can actually do, what they can do is a pardon. But if it's a pardon, that's kind of admitting that Marcus Garvey did the crimes and we're just letting it pass. So they really want an exoneration, but they have to kind of take a pardon route to get results. So we're just trying to get as much signatures as we can. CPAC and others have been having virtual events to build awareness. We at the embassy, we've sent it out to the CARICOM ambassadors, trying to get their support. We're trying to get school children to sign up. We have regional heads for Asia, North America, Africa, all over, trying to get as much signatures as we can, because I think it would be really significant that in this year, our 60th anniversary of independence,
Okay, when do you want it to be? Do you have to submit it by a deadline where you need to gather all these signatures? Like, what's the deadline?
So the deadline, as I said, is the 2nd of March. After that, you can't submit your signature. And it's pretty easy to sign up. You just go to whitehouse.gov/contact, and you'll see a page that says contact us. You can even visit it right now. I'll put the link in the chat. So we can, if anybody.
Just repeat that again.
Yeah, put it in the chat.
So it's in the chat right now.
All right, let me put it in on Facebook.
So how far are we in terms of signatures? How many we have?
Unfortunately, we can't see the amount of signatures. So we just have to wait until the deadline and see if we get a response from the White House. But once we get 100,000, then we get the attention of President Biden. And then once we get the attention, it's a matter that they have to examine and explore.
Okay, what you said was the deadline again?
March
the 2nd of March.
Oh, so we have a few days to get it done, people.
Correct.
A few
so
days.
if you pulled up the link, by the way,
I haven't seen the link.
I see it. It's www.whitehouse.gov/contact/, right?
Correct.
And you see the Marcus Garvey link.
So somebody was asking how far are we in terms of signatures? Can we put that in the link? He can't see the number of signatures so far. So we're going on a best bet, hoping that we've made the target.
Right. So we just want as much people to sign up because, as I said, we can't see
where
the
we're
signatures.
But if we don't make the target with them, then them just going to ignore us. So we have to make sure we make the target.
Go to communities. Do a drive. People, do a drive. Get your family and friends. Do a drive.
Right. So we've been trying to do that, especially on all these virtual events. We share the link right now on the ambassador's Facebook. She has a post that has been shared 72 times. So we think that might help. We've been using social media. We have the Prime Minister. He wrote a letter to President Biden indicating his support for this. In the Governor General's most recent 2022 throne speech, he mentioned this initiative. So the government is supporting it from the top. So we're just trying. But
a lot of people would ask, why are we asking for a pardon though? Because are we admitting that he has done something wrong? Right.
So I had mentioned earlier that the White House, they can't exonerate. What they do give is a pardon. So
who exonerates?
To be honest, I don't know who exonerates, but we had a long back and forth with the kind of wording, because I'm not a lawyer, but from the legal perspective and what I've been hearing, the White House, they can't exonerate. So it's either we take the pardon and at some other point they explore the exoneration. So that's why it's a pardon. But CPAC came out saying exonerate, but it's actually a pardon. So
CPAC wanted a pardon.
Right. Everybody wants the exoneration. So with the CPAC and their promotional material, it says Garvey exoneration. But then I said, looking at the White House and what they can do, the president can't exonerate anyone. So it's kind of
the process is more complicated.
Right. It's very complicated.
Mm-hmm. Michelle is an attorney, Emil.
Right. So she can advise, probably. But
that's gonna be hard because you'll have to go back and show why he isn't, guilty of these crimes and all that.
That is the easiest, quick first step. The first step in the process then is to seek a pardon. And we're saying go for the 100,000 signatures, get these people on board. I trust that somebody has had a conversation with Prime Minister Mia Mottley. She's the most popular Caribbean personnel at this point in time. And I mean, her putting it on her thing would probably blow it out the waters.
Right. So
let us encourage everybody here, because we have followers more than you can imagine or you see here now. But we can get some traction done. Michelle has put the link in. Persons just go there. What they have to do, type in their name, the mother name, the granny name, what?
No. So on the website, first field you see is message type. You click, you choose contact the president, and then you fill out your information, your name, your email address, a telephone number, and the country that you're in with an address. And then in the final box, which says, what would you like to say? You can type in, pardon Marcus Garvey. And you click send, and that's it.
And it don't matter what we do in Jamaica, because we might even have one or two people who try not to get phoned by you US folks. What happened? We just still type in all the address. Them going to use it against us.
No, so I don't think they will use it against you.
All right.
So you just put in the information and that's it. I mean, I think the most important thing is the email address and the phone number versus.
All right, email address, phone number.
And for those in high school, get your high school classmates. If you go to church, get your church members, everybody to sign. We don't know what the number is, but get everybody, if you're interested, to just sign, spread the message, spread the word, send the link, and have everybody just do it,
Correct.
For Marcus.
All right. Mish, is or do we detain Emil, or is medical practitioner here?
Yeah, she's here. She's
okay.
on.
Emil, you can stay and chit chat with us a while. We can probably get back to Garvey a little bit.
Okay, no problem. I'm here.
Okay.
Hi, good morning. I did a wonderful introduction, but I know you're busy working. So this is Mrs. Spencer, and she's here to impart a lot of knowledge to us in regards to, COVID and all the new changes and what people need to know.
Dr. Spencer, we thank you so much for taking the time and being here with us. Michelle, tell us all the good things. You come from Trelawney, you went to Trelawney School, you come from
Oh yeah, okay, keep going. Sorry, our echo was on.
Are you hearing me clearly?
Yeah, I'm hearing you.
Emil, are you muted?
Yes.
All right. All right. So as they're here saying, Michelle, pick up Trelawney and tell us that you come from all of that place and all the good work that you've done and continue to do. And so we're happy. Did I lose her?
No, she's here. You're hearing us?
Oh. Looks like we have to work on the internet connectivity for Trelawney, Mish.
You could ask. I think she could hear us well.
All right, fabulous. So tell us, what was it like growing up in Wakefield, and did you always want to become a medical practitioner?
I think the internet not working too well.
Our internet, Mish?
Yeah, she just, I guess she's logged on back.
Okay. Emil, tell us about growing up in Germany.
All right, so I didn't spend much time in Germany. My mother was actually there studying. And when I was born, she only had 1 year left on her PhD program. So she completed that and returned home. So I can tell you about Russia. I know Russia right now is in the news, especially what's going on with Ukraine. But I was there for
afraid
3
to ask you,
years.
but you can't tell us.
Yeah, I was there for 3 years, and I mean, Russia was quite a good experience for me. I went there to study international relations and
Sorry, I didn't
cultural
get that. Wait, you
interactions.
went to study what?
International relations and cultural interactions. So I
Oh.
went there for 3 years. The first year was used to study Russian language. So я говорю по-русски очень хорошо. So I speak Russian very well. So while I was there, it was a good experience. I was able to teach English. I picked up DJing.
DJing, so you turn Vibes Cartel down there on them?
No, not that type of DJing. This jockey, mixing music. So I'd be in the club Friday, Saturday, every week. And, I was able to bring reggae and dancehall, the Jamaican culture to them. Every year, keep a Bob Marley party. So it was a pretty good experience. And it was kind of just what you make of it. A lot of people went there and they blossomed with their talents. I have a friend who's there still. He's on TV. He's a Jamaican. He's a DJ. He's on TV. He is with a Jamaican-Russian reggae duo as their DJ. So, a lot of...
Why did you decide to come back home?
One, it is too cold. It's too cold. I mean, if you open your freezer and look in your freezer and have, when it's overfrosted, that's how the streets would look. So that's the first reason. I got homesick, the food, not all that. And yeah, I miss Jamaica. So that's why I wanted to leave. And they're very strict with their immigration. So if you don't have a reason to be there, they're not going to allow you to stay. So if you're studying, fine, you can stay. And the same thing, you have to probably get a work visa, the Russian language, you have to write it out, fill out this and that. So I was really interested in that. And most of the Jamaicans that are there, they just prolong their study, even if they're not doing it. And that's how they stay.
Okay, so, because it's easier to get a permit to study than it is to work.
Correct,
okay.
correct.
Do they eventually start families?
Yeah. I mean, they say you can find Jamaicans everywhere. I was in the countryside teaching English and I met a lady and she's like, "Oh, you're from Jamaica? My husband is from Jamaica." And when I say country, like when you go there, no Black people, but this lady had a Jamaican husband and a Jamaican Russian child. So yeah, it was a good experience. Some people took up talents of dancing. As I said, DJ, you have singers. So I kind of think being Black and being there and having a talent, you're able to get some attention.
Are you hearing us now? Take it off mute. Are you hearing us now?
Yes, I'm hearing you much better now.
Okay. All right. So tell us about growing up in Wakefield, as Dr. Diana asked, and why you became a doctor before we get into.
Sure. Okay. So Wakefield in Trelawney is a rural area, right? I went to Wakefield Primary School, and afterwards I went to Westwood High School. So growing up in Wakefield, I grew up with my mother and my father, who died when I was in grade 7. That's 2009. So I grew up with both parents until he passed, and as well as growing up with my brothers. I am the only girl of 5 children. So I have 4 bigger brothers, which was quite an experience growing up with 4 boys and 1 girl. So I grew up almost being like a tomboy until I went to Westwood. That was when I was groomed into becoming the lady that I am today. Why I wanted to become a doctor, it initially started with my love for science and exploring and experimenting and wanting to devise some cure or something to make cancer less likely to happen and be able to give better palliative care. So even now, I have now chosen to super specialize into pediatric oncology. So instead of just doing oncology, I want to work more for the baby, especially seeing that in Jamaica, we have only 2 pediatric oncologists and we have none in the western side, which is where I'm from. So that's my aim now. I've been a doctor for almost 3 years. So I'm garnering more experience before I head on to further my studies, more than likely abroad.
Okay.
Yeah.
Whoa, that is really heartwarming and encouraging for me. Your global perspective your recognition for the needs in Jamaica, you're wanting to give back. But I like the story that you grew up with 4 boy picking, and you were the singular girl. So you were busy climbing tree, running up and down like everybody else. And then you went to that institution.
Yeah.
You went to that noble institution and they transformed you totally.
Yeah.
Tell us about, and you boarded at Westwood?
Yes, I boarded for all 5 years. It was actually my decision because I was the only girl. My mother actually wanted me to come home every day, but I felt like I needed the experience, so I asked her to put me to boarding, and she did it, and I spent the 5 years. I would cry almost every day, every Sunday that she would come to visit me and would have to go back down the hill, but still I knew I had to stay. I did very well in high school. I was the head girl for 2013. So I am very much appreciative of my school. It has taught me a lot, not only scholastically, but I'm well-rounded.
Yes.
I would have garnered experiences in a lot of things differently from school, and that's very important.
Well, I have an older friend who worked within the banking sector, and she was a mentor to me as well during my banking days. And she grew up in Wakefield as well. So, I mean, if she's watching this, she's probably jumping, hopping, skipping, and jumping. And she shares to her own experiences of boarding at Westwood and what it did for her in terms of professional, personal, and development, social development. So I yearn for the days when people can go to school and talk about the social advances and opportunities that it has given them versus who stab up who are fight, who are joke with pen, and all of them foolishness there that have no space in school. So I really want to commend you. And I as Michelle says, she sees the pride in Michelle's face. And the pride is us all. Even Emil, who don't know where Westwood there, smile and feel pleased, say, boy, him have this opportunity to talk to us. But tell me now, having decided to do medicine, tell us about your years at UWI.
Okay, so after I left high school, I opted to do a 1-year pre-university course instead of doing the case. So that allowed me to go matriculate into university much quicker than my peers. And I had to do that because my mother was going to retire much more earlier than everybody else's peers. So I had to make that personal choice. So after I went to Brownstone Community College for that 1 year, I had to focus really hard because my mother couldn't afford to find $3.7 million at the time per year. So I had to put in the work to get a GPA of about 3.7, and thanks to God for guiding me and allowing me to keep my focus. I was able to get that GPA, and I went into medical school with an 80% scholarship. So my mother only paid $624,000 per year, along with other things, and we were able to afford that. The 5 years, I did 2 years at Western Jamaica campus in Montego Bay, and then I went to Kingston for the 3 years. To be honest, it was very hard, especially my first 2 years, because I now had to learn how to study on my own without having someone say, Sabrina, we're going to collect the work now. As well as it was almost as if I was just a number. So it was very hard to get used to that. And I had to be teaching myself quite a lot of things because I'm not necessarily an auditory learner. I'm a visual and a tactile person. I like that type of stimulation, and I wasn't getting that initially. So when I started my clinical years, that was when my grades went back up, getting A's and B's only. And I felt much more comfortable, and I was reassured because in the first 2 years, I was like, ooh, wow, is this really what I want to do? Right? Mm-hmm. However, when I started to do the clinical and I started to interact with patients, and they would say, whoa, you're such a real person. I can communicate with you. You make the space open. It reassured me to know that, this is really what I want to do. And one of the greatest joys for me is hearing a patient say that after I interacted with them, they not only felt better on a medical perspective, but it was a very good doctor-patient encounter.
Right.
That's something that. Yeah.
I'm sensing that you are really driven by the emotional and social connection with your patients than you are with the with the medical. Yes, you want them to be well, but you recognize that being well is a rounded thing. It's not just a singular thing. There's more to the physical. There has to be the social rest and the emotional at ease for the persons to get better. And I like that holistic approach that you take to medicine. And so let us needle down on the oncology and the focus on pediatrics. You plan to have 4 boy picnic and 1 girl picnic too?
That one definitely caught me. So I on a personal note, I actually have endometriosis, which has been a struggle for me from I was in grade 7. So I have really terrible menstrual pain. So I'm not sure how fertile I am. So I think that is actually what drew me to fall in love with just about every baby that I see, every single baby that I come in contact with.
Thanks for sharing that.
I have a very special love for them, and I love taking care of them on the word. It's a very good thing.
Well, Sabrina, anybody out there online or anywhere who know a doctor who specializes in endometriosis and all of that, want to please to connect with us, because we need to make sure Sabrina can have our 4 boy picnic and our 1 girl picnic so that she can have a full house to take care of. So I'm making an appeal. All of the doctors out there, all of the people who know people, we are going to make sure that Sabrina is fertile enough to have her 4 boy picnic or her 4 girl picnic and her 1 boy picnic.
I do know a specialist here. Like he is the top one in the US. He's one located.
Fine. So Michelle is on it. We're on it, Sabrina.
Yeah, but we're into your personal, no, but let your focus now. Interesting, guys. Very motivational. All you're saying, especially what you mentioned, going through. A lot of women are going through it, but are afraid to speak, or they don't know that they have it. So that's good. Yeah, and they need to do testing, which is important. But also, let's talk about COVID.
Yes.
Right? Yeah, we could have it all day. We could bring another day, because your story is very inspiring. Because it's good you never gave up, in your first 3 years, and you kept going. So, okay, so tell us about the COVID. Answer the question. Okay, they're cursing me out on YouTube, so I got distracted. So Dr. Dan.
But as it relates to COVID, the government is lifting, and a lot of territories around are lifting their mandates and their requirements. How do we transition carefully into this new outlook? We just drop the mask, bloop, and done. What we do?
Okay, so dropping the mask is definitely a no-no. Okay, that's definitely a no-no, because I'm sure you guys would have heard of long COVID. Mm-hmm. So let's take it in stages. So initially, the better thought would have been for us to acquire herd immunity. Therefore, we would have been more safer to reopen. However, with the vaccine hesitation, we're far from even reaching 25%. However, with the economic fall and educational downfall, the government cannot allow that, and we therefore have to consider living with COVID. Going forward with that would mean that the persons who are unvaccinated have to protect themselves, but also the persons who are vaccinated still need to protect themselves, because mutations are still likely to come about. And whether you're vaccinated or unvaccinated, if you do catch COVID, whether you have a very severe case or you have an asymptomatic case, you can still have the virus inside, and then you can have symptoms of long COVID, which can start 6 months to even 3 to 4 years afterwards. So my overall advice is to continue wearing the mask and to continue social distancing, and let us get back to life. And if you have not taken the vaccine, read up, become educated, and make an informed decision.
I agree 100%. And so your recommendation is that we should go back to, people should continue to wear their mask.
Yeah.
Do you recommend what kind of mask? Because I know they're saying that the cloth mask is not the best. they need to get the N94.
So
95.
the regular surgical mask, the regular surgical mask is acceptable for persons who are not going to interact with persons who are ill. The persons who don't work in hospital or geriatric homes or other nursing homes, you don't necessarily need to wear N95 mask because you're not at a very high risk. So going about your daily business, you are not required to wear an N95, even though it offers the best protection. You're not required to wear it. A regular surgical mask, which is the one that you see that has a blue exterior and a white cottonelle interior, that's the one that we advise that you wear outside. The use of the regular cloth mask, I am not one for it. They're very fashionable. However, their protection is about 10 to 25%. So that, as you can see, that's not very good. So if you want to wear a cloth mask, then I'd advise wearing it above the surgical mask. And then the other thing with wearing these masks is knowing how to remove them, right? They can't wear a mask for the whole day and then decide to touch the front to get rid of it. Clean in to get the airs and then let it fall.
On the matter of the cloth masks, I want to add though that I actually bought some cloth masks that comes with layers, 3 layers of cloth, and it has space for filter as well, which I can remove and discard the filter, or the filters say that they're washable, but we can discard them because they're good enough. So, and it says by virtue of my reading is that it gives reasonable protection. But I want to thank you for the point that the N95s are critical for people who are within the health sector. But if we're not interacting with sick persons or health persons, then we're good enough in the little blue mask, and we can always wear 2 if we want. I get from you too that the vaccinated must protect themselves even as we are easing up, but the unvaccinated, them must protect themselves.
Yes.
Exactly.
And what something I always tell my patients when they come to get vaccines, the vaccine is that when you protect yourself and your loved ones are unprotected, you have another onus upon you to protect them, because remember that if you take the vaccine, you're likely to get asymptomatic COVID, right? Asymptomatic means absolutely no signs, no cough, no cold, no fever, yet you have the virus in your system. Imagine you go around your aunt or your uncle who's unvaccinated and so they have lupus or they have prostate cancer or they have some other immune disease that causes them to become immune suppressed, and you give them COVID, you put them at risk of dying and having very severe COVID. So the onus is now on you to protect those around you as well.
Right. I like how you made that connection and lay it out in simple terms. Wear the mask because yes, you not have it, but you might very well be taking it, traipsing it off to church to give to some old lady at church or old man or somewhere where you stop. So it is really, really important. I like that connection. Michelle?
Yeah, and okay, I love that because I never really thought about it like that with the COVID. So that's a good example which breaks it down. But also in regards to the booster shot, I know Jamaica started to give the booster shot. What are your thoughts? I know a lot of people are saying they're scared to get the second shot. They thought the first shot was good enough, so they didn't go for the second. And now we have the booster. What are your thoughts about recommending the booster?
Okay, so the booster is recommended, especially for persons who, like I said, are high risk, meaning they're immunosuppressed, meaning immune system is not working. So persons who are immunosuppressed are persons with diabetes, hypertension, cancers, HIV, lupus, and any other autoimmune condition, right? Those are the most 5 critical ones. However, persons who are as young and think that we're as healthy as you and myself, if we still have hesitation to taking a booster, there is what we call the COVID-19 antibody test, where you can go to a lab to get titers on how high your COVID antibodies are before you feel comfortable taking a booster. A booster, as the name suggests, is to improve your fighting capability and your fighting capacity against the virus. Viruses are things that mutate and they change, right? So after about a year, or as the government said, 6 months to a year, you start to have waning immunity, means that it falls, right? Remember that when viruses go into the body learns about what this is, and it says, oh, I know what this is, let me go and fight it. After a year, just like in human brain, we forget stuff that we thought we knew. It's the same thing. The body now has not seen that in such a long time. It no longer knows what to do. So you're boosting it. So what that means is that once the virus enters, it picks up and it says, oh, I know this, let's go and get it. So if you are in a high-risk situation, healthcare workers, persons who deal with the elderly, as well as persons who are immunocompromised or immunosuppressed, I highly advise for them to get a booster shot. Other persons who have reservations, like I said, they are the ones who can go and get antibody titer testing before they go ahead, just to make sure that they're above the threshold to fight the virus.
Okay, you hear that, people? Go get the test if you're not sure, and go get your choice to get the vaccine.
Well, let me tell you, I like how Sabrina break that down to. Sabrina is a pity wasn't teaching biology and science. Probably Emil and myself would have passed them easier. And
your mother taught? Your mother was? She taught bio?
So,
okay.
Biology in high school.
Fabulous. Break it down nicely.
Wow, I'm so proud. Wakefield. I went to Wakefield, people.
Yes, I
And
know your
also
mom taught me when I was in grade 5, Mr. Robert.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
This is really, really, really good. And the takeaway is that we really ought to be careful, regardless of how the restrictions are being lifted. And we have a duty, not just to ourselves, but to our neighbors to care. Sabrina, I'm going to invite you to come back another time, because we certainly must get into you, such as, Emil, you have anything you want to say before
just one more thing before we go to him. Could you tell us about your mobile unit? Providing care.
Oh yes, I forget. Mobile doctor.
Yeah.
Yes. So I'm the operator of Doctors on Wheels. Initially, I had started it because after I came home from Kingston, I was getting a lot of calls to go and see patients at home, and they would offer me money. However, I honestly was not feeling as if I should have taken the cash, because what really was I charging for? I hadn't come up with anything. So I went home and I sat and I thought about it, and I said, guess what? This is my skill. This is my talent. Let's try to monetize it and market myself. So I went back to the drawing board. I sought help from persons who are, older in the business. And I said, well, I'm not yet ready to have an actual office. However, I am able to do it in my car. So I'm the operator of Doctors on Wheels, and I've now invited other physicians at my level, because it's registered. I have physicians in Montego Bay who operate as Doctors on Wheels, and I'm in Trelawny. As I said, it's all about the Western region. I'm prejudiced against Kingston. I came back home to be here for my people, so it is for my people, and it's very affordable. And I try to do my best. My motto is do small things in great love.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I love that. I love that. Yeah, a positive comments on Facebook. So people, remember, if you're in the Western region, because you have other doctors and you're not able to go to your local health facility and you need a doctor to visit you, you could definitely contact her. What is her contact information? On how to get
I'm on Instagram as Doctors on Wheels. I'm also on Facebook. The contact number is 876-363-6846. As I said, the handle is Doctors on Wheels. Give us a call today.
I love that.
Awesome. I really love this. Sabrina, Dr. Spencer, you've made us really so proud. Carlin Madden says that she's so proud. We really enjoyed this discussion with you. You have to come draw bench with us when you're not busy running up and down on another Saturday morning. Thank you so much for being here.
Awesome. Awesome, Dr. Spencer. Keep up the good work. Love. What an inspiration from Jesse. You just with Carlene. Michelle said great topic today. Carlene said, very informative, Sabrina. Yeah, you did break it down to a level, that was really understandable to a lot of people, and to getting the message across about COVID. Like, even though they're relaxing, we should still take it seriously. And Joy said, I'm not a doctor, but there's a lot of herbs in Jamaica that can recurring the condition, I guess, help with the condition, no side effects. There's a herbal lady in Falmouth. Wow. Michelle said, I was a pediatric nurse for 2 years. Emotional strain was too much, so I went to medical surgical oncology. I would cry so often after losing a baby. It's very emotional. So that's a good feel. And the West does need it because we see everything going towards the Kingston region and people have to travel. So it's good you're doing this for the West. And that's how the West was won. I had to say it. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me. It was a pleasure being here.
Thank you.
Thank
Keep
you.
safe.
Have a good day.
Emil?
Emil, a lot of people saying that they're signing up already.
Yep.
Great. Welcome the support, and just remind them to share it with their network, their friends, everybody, so we can reach that 100,000 signature mark.
Yeah. I remind them again where to go.
So you're going to go to contact us on the White House website. It is www.whitehouse.gov/contact/ and you just fill out information, and at the end you write, "Pardon Marcus Garvey." That's it.
Oh.
And I'll keep you guys updated when March 2nd comes. I'll share with you if we hit the target, which I believe we're going to hit. So I'll share the good news when it comes and let you know what the next steps are. And I just want to thank Dr. Davis Smith and Dr. Spencer also for but I want to thank everybody for inviting me. So firstly, Dr. Davis Smith, and you too also, Miss Flynn.
Thank you so much, Emil. Thanks for being here.
All right. And you guys enjoy the rest of the weekend, and big ups to all the viewers.
You too.
All right.
Yeah, you too. Have a good one. Okay. Such good young people doing so well, positive, inspirational, giving back to Jamaica and doing it for Jamaica. It's very inspiring. I love seeing it. Not everybody's selfish. Some people are genuine.
That's really encouraging. So we're encouraging everybody online to go to the link. It has been shared. Michelle probably need to share it again, and sign the petition so that we can get this done we can get it done. We here, Jamaica First, getting it done. Michelle, we're almost running out of time.
I was getting cursed out for YouTube. It wasn't showing up people. My phone, I don't know why I kept going in, but now we're back up. I see Marvet said there are no winners in a war and we all will be affected by it, either directly or indirectly. Praying for peace. Sharon said, great job, Dr. Sabrina. Wishing you all the best.
Yeah.
So that's it for YouTube. I'm on YouTube now, so you could write all your comments. I'm seeing them.
We're almost running out of time. We have about 10 or 12 minutes, but Black History Month not so much that, but the local heroes that people have been responding to. Do you have any that you want for us to mention and treat with?
I got one in, and I'm going to read it for her. Joni, she's not available right now, so I'm going to read about her person, one of her person. And that is Miss Lou. Everybody remember Miss Lou?
Mm-hmm.
Remember Miss Lou? She was born on September 7, 1919, and is our mother of Jamaican culture. This is her wording. All I can think about was ring ding, Brother Anansi stories and mass run. Sorry, what's happening? Not COVID, people. Louise Bennett Coverley is more than a gem. She will always be a treasure. Although I do not fully know about her trove of talent, artistry, and academic achievements until my late teens, she was one of my first celebrity. I left Jamaica as a child, moved know was kidnapped, if you can call it, when your parents migrate to the USA without your consent. Good one. How Louis Bennett, Simone Bennett Coverley fully embrace of our culture makes Jamaicans proud and then belly busts with pride. At 14 in the 90s, she studied in England on a scholarship at the Royal Academy of Dramatic Arts. In the 1950s, Miss Lou traveled with a troupe of actors, dancers, etc., including Harry Belafonte, did not know that, who sought her out as an expert in all things Jamaican. In fact, Louise Bennett was first to actually perform Deo in the USA. However, it was Harry who brought Jamaicans' rich culture and the arts to America. Her deep knowledge, research, and preservation of our Jamaican culture paved the way for actors, artists, and even musical bands from Yard, including the Fabulous Five, the Wailers, and icon Bob Marley. Miss Louis' authorship of Patois, provided Uno with context and rich content for our dialect through stories, song stories, and stage presence in pantomimes, skits, etc. Bennett Cavall is the bridge and the glue that shaped Jamaica to the world. Her passing at 86 years old on July 26, 2006 in Toronto, Canada, was a celebration of life and a rich legacy. Simone Louise Bennett Cavall was interred at Jamaica's National Heroes Park on August 9, 2006, where her husband, Eric Cavall, was reinterred with her as she wished to be buried with him. Thank you, Joni, for that brief history of your hero from Jamaica.
Wow. I thank her so much. She shared some interesting things that we probably overlook. I like her notion of going to America. Her parents kidnap her without her consent. And so many others have been kidnapped. So many others waiting to be kidnapped and wanting to be kidnapped.
Exactly. But I love that. So you have anything you want to mention with Louise Bennett to remind those who are not familiar?
Well, her poetry, I mean, we all know Miss Lou poetry, and they're endless. And they always speak into some topic or the other. And as we look to the period of Lent, and we're not there at Easter yet, but in celebration of our colleague who is not here this morning, I figured that I would say this piece by Louise Bennett Cavall, Bun and Cheese. Them boy that Jeremy's Matty and a macar and a tease. Them a kill themself with laugh, ma, and I call her bun and cheese. Them say from Good Friday morning, her jawbone no get no ease. Morning, noon, and night and bedtime, she yamming bun and cheese. For breakfast, lunch, and dinner, she gets sauce of bun and cheese. She can go church and moving pictures, if you please. She no count saltfish and ackee. She'd cut her eye upon rice and peas. Hear her, me pot pan fire. Oh, me pot no de put pan fire when me get me bun and cheese. I say it particularly for our colleague who is not here today, bun and cheese. I'm not call no name, Jackman.
Yeah, that was good. Louise Bennett, she always good. I used to love listening to her and how she delivered or tell the stories that she tells. So she always tell it in a way for you to understand. With her language, patois, she never twang. She never, all of that. She spoke, in her language.
Yes.
So wherever she went, she did speak in her language. So I appreciate that. And I see why Joni has her as an hero to her.
Yes, and it was really good for us growing up when we could watch things Jamaican in the form of a ring-ding. To see people like ourselves doing things on TV. So it was something that we looked forward to on a Sunday morning, and you just all gather and sit down. Saturday morning, I think it was, that it would come, and you see these things that as children you could want to emulate. And so I really celebrate Miss Lou and her advent into local production. It must have been brave of her to, you know, being in England and figure and say, yes, I'm going to do some patois on the people in BBC. You can imagine how brave she was to take such a position for our culture.
I'm telling you. Exactly. And I hear me because it's my internet dancing. And the strangest thing is that you realize that most Jamaicans do go abroad. They prefer to twang or talk this, you know, English, however they think they're coming off. But she just went as her authentic self and she was embraced. And it's telling just be your authentic self. You don't have to put on a show. If you're being your authentic self, people will buy into it. And they did.
But then again, we grew up on hearing Miss Lou. I say, I'm glad to see you come back, boy. But Lord, you let me down. Me shame you so till all my proudness drop a ground. You mean you there go America and spend whole 6 months there and come back not a piece better than how you did go away? Boy, you know shame. It's so you come. After you tan so long, not even like a language, boy, not even like a twang. So we probably have taken it literally, Michelle.
Yeah, we did. We did. But I love that. I respect her for that. I appreciate her. It tells you could be who you are. We live in, you don't have to fully assimilate yourself into another culture. You could be your, you know, authentic self and represent your country wherever you go. We see some comments coming in. O'Brien said, super proud of you, Michelle. Well done, Dr. Spencer. You represented well. Big up to Wakefield Primary School family. So proud of the gentleman on going to see Young progressing so well. Good to see Young progressing so well.
Yes.
I also bless up Dr. Miss Davis Smith. So he's saying bless up. And Sandra is laughing. Go on, Louise Bennett protege bestie. Well done. Laughing. Donna said, very informative and fun morning. Had a great week. Have a great week, everyone. Dee said, yes, I went to Jamaica recently and couldn't find anything Jamaican. Pure foreign sinting. Sandra said, great show. Proud of Uno. Dee said, on TV, that is. Yeah, that is true.
Find out in Jamaica
show.
Yes.
Remember Lantry Lane? All of that, right? What do I want in Royal Palm or whatever?
Michelle, ahead of your time, there was something that used to come on the radio. And I remember the helpers, I would always be listening to it on them radio on at 10 something. And it was late in the night, but in the evening, Dulcimina. Who remember Dulcimina? Oh my gosh, Dulcimina was a show on radio, a radio show. Who remember Dulcimina? And there was a man, Flat Trap. I don't remember, the man had this weirdest name. I'll go and look it up and talk about it next. Dulcimina.
I don't know, but I could ask my mother. Sharon said, great job. Well, I read that. She said she signed the petition. Sharon said, no pot fire, I just burn and cheese today.
I wonder what our dear friend Leo is doing today.
Likely a study.
In bun and cheese. Oh gosh. But Mish, time running out and catching up on us.
Yeah, it was a good show today. I think if I missed any comments, no, because all this information is coming in. I do appreciate all the messages, all the encouraging words, and remember people to go out and sign the petition to pardon Marcus Garvey. They need 10,000 votes, so just assume they don't have any votes.
100,000, yes.
100,000. Okay, so just assume they have no votes and just campaign till all your family and friends share. You go on www.whitehouse.gov/contact and find the Marcus Garvey page and just sign up and do it. At least we could do something good before the 60th and
Yes.
60th year, right, for Jamaica.
And within the timeline, because we have to do it by March 2nd. That's the timeline.
Yeah, March 2nd.
Mhm.
Yeah, so don't put it off, get it done now. Because we
Yep.
have a few days, get it done now.
Yeah.
And
tell a friend
I
them
want
too.
to, yeah, tell a friend. And I want to thank Dr. Spencer for taking the time to come on, and Emil for coming on. He is very impressive too with his resume, for coming on and helping with this project to get it done for Marcus Garvey. And I know we talk about COVID and everything relaxing. I'm happy, but people still remember to wear your mask, sanitized. There's still vaccines available if you want to get it, if you're so inclined. If you don't, that's fine. But just protect yourself and your family. And have a wonderful afternoon. And we apologize again for Tuesday night. But you know, it was a rough day. But
Yes.
we'll be back
On
on
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Yes.
And also, Dr. Diana, what was our website that people could go on to see the event? I know we're wrapping up Reggae
Shoots,
Month.
I don't remember the name of the app and I didn't look up. And there's some comments on Facebook. You want to take those while I look for it?
Okay.
And thank everybody for being here.
Yeah, we thank everybody. Let me see if who I've missed. Peter
It's called
says,
Reggae Jamaica. There's an app that says Reggae Jamaica, and it's from the Ministry of Culture, Gender and Entertainment and Sports, and it's all about the 60th celebration, the 60th Jamaica 60th celebration. Don't know if you can see that, but that is the
Reggae Jamaica.
Yeah, it's called Reggae Jamaica. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so for everything happening and what the government is putting on, they have shows and they have live updates. You could go on it to see what events are taking place. I know they had the Bob Marley thing a while back, but they have a lot of reggae shows.
And the recordings on it too. Reggae Jamaica.
Recording. So you could watch it. If you miss a Bob Marley thing, you could go watch it.
Yeah.
So please go on and see.
Great show, Sandra says. Dekar says, yes. Philip says Dulcimina, he remembers. Alicia says Lime Tree Lane. Sandra says she remembers Dulcimina. O'Brien Vaughn says Dulcimina, heard about it all the time. I remember Dulcimina, Granny, and Cyclops. Yes, Lorna remembers them, all of them Cyclops. Lawton says nice show. Reggae Jamaica, Michelle. You put that in. Jesse says great conversation as per usual. Big up to Dr. Emile, Dr. Diana, Michelle. Glad you mentioned Tuesday. I was wondering what happened of y'all. God bless you. It was great being here. Thank you all for being here. Michelle has spoken. Continue the Dr. Spencer. Isn't she just fabulous?
I'm telling you.
My gosh, Dr. Sabrina and Emile, who would look and think, boy, born at Germany, go Russia, learn, can speak Russian, and then him back around the place. We should get him back another night to talk. Guys, God bless you. Take care.
Have a good one. Bye.
Have soup today. What you having? Soup, Michelle?
Nope.
Bye,
everyone.
Bye.